Houston, we have a podcast. On this month's episode, we got a bunch of dudes sitting around a table talking about rom-coms.
Oh yeah.
Giggity.
On this month's episode, we have one returning guest, one new guest. So Joe, you've been on the episode twice before.
What's up? Thanks for having me again.
Our space episode, and then our Luke Besson episode, where you also did the video work. Thanks again for that.
That was so much fun. Thanks for having
Shout
me.
out to Joey.
And then a new guest that we've been trying to get on for a little while, Allan. Finally got you here. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me here.
And to introduce yourself to our audience, as we usually do, can you please pick a movie character and a movie to introduce yourself as a person?
So movie I chose has already been chosen by Joe from a previous episode, but
you're welcome.
but I chose 500 Days of Summer, and I'd like to say that I resemble Tom a lot, being a hopeless romantic.
Is that Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character's name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom Hansen from
Tom Hiddleston?
no Tom Hansen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and being a hopeless romantic and liking long walks on the beach. No, he doesn't.
Hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
Is that similar to your reasons, Joe?
Yes, exactly. That's the exact reason why.
You're picking the movie and the character?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so you guys are also big rom-com fans. So we will get into that, but before we do, we want to also, just as we usually do, have you guys seen any movies recently that you want to talk about or you want to kind of recommend? Paul, how about you?
I would like to recommend Stretch. Shout out to Netflix again, because that's where I watch all my movies nowadays. But it's basically this really strange movie about a limo driver who he's like down on his luck. His girlfriend's left him, and he's doing this last job. He's trying to poach clients from like this other company, and then there's this one guy. You get to see Chris Pine play absolutely an insane person. You see his chode and everything, and he's like
I don't know. I don't want to watch
billionaire who's been known to like tip his limo drivers a lot. So he's trying to like get this last score, I guess, to pay off some gambling debt, or else he's gonna get killed by his bookie. And it's just like this. Chris Pine makes him do all this crazy shit, and he's also a struggling actor, so he puts like that talent to use, I guess. It's very interesting.
Just like Patrick Wilson.
Oh yeah, Patrick Wilson is the star, and it's like the story of his life, I guess.
Oh, is it based off him, or pretty much?
No. And also you get to see Ed Helms, aka Andy from The Office, to play a ghost, and he's a real motherfucker. And Jessica Alba's in it, and that's always good.
I like it.
Yeah, you sold me on you lost me at Chode. You lost me at Chode, and you got me back with Jessica Alba.
Yep.
So.
You at Chode. You're right,
Jessica Alba being that's how you guys came out a while ago.
Yeah. Very cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What about you guys? You go, Carson.
I was gonna wait for you guys to go.
Oh, okay. If anything, I guess I'll go.
I don't take the lead anymore.
For me, the movie I watched recently was Secret Obsession, which is also on Netflix, and that one is featuring Brenda Song and a guy named Mike Vogel, and pretty much the premise of the movie is she gets hit by a car, she loses her memory, and then she wakes up in a hospital with a guy claiming to be her husband. And then she goes away with him to a house after she's recovered a bit, and then she's getting flashbacks of stuff that happened the night when she got hit, and then something doesn't feel right.
Is it like the female perspective of 50 First Dates?
Kind of, but kind of, I guess, but in a very, very creepy way. And it's the thing I didn't like about the movie is it was too predictable and not like different at all. The characters, they were just plain. For this movie, the only reason I watched it was because Brenda Song was in it. So, I mean, it's good to see her because I haven't seen her in a movie or in a while or ever, other than TV shows back in the day. She was in Social Network. I forgot about that. That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen her in something, so.
And that
Where she blew Spider-Man.
Wait, what was that kung fu movie she was in on Family?
What?
Nope, never mind.
She was in a kung fu movie?
Yeah. Oh,
That's
I
hard to
remember.
remember. But that's pretty
I'll
much
search
the
it up
premise of
later.
the movie. Like, she gets hit, she has to try to find out if this is really her husband, and then it's I'm not really spoiling anything. It says it all in the trailer, but if you're feeling for I guess something
Or some Brenda
So-
song.
for Brenda song or just seeing it as some kind of thriller, then go for it. But I wouldn't highly recommend it.
It's a glowing recommendation.
Yeah.
So one thing you were saying about the movie was that it was kind of different. Didn't really follow the norm. And well, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed about Netflix movies is it feels like a production studio that isn't giving any input or feedback to the people making movies, which is both good because the directors get kind of like a genuine view of like this is what they want to make, but then it's also kind of showing me the perspective that maybe production studios do need to give a little input because I feel like some of the movies are a bit sloppy.
Yeah, some of the no, not just you. For some of the other Netflix movies I've seen too, they've been sloppy, and it's just I don't know who's on the production team, who's overseeing anything.
But they're
'cause
always
it's
an
just,
interesting watch.
it's an interesting watch, but at the same time, it's like.
But you run the risk of like feeling like you wasted your time.
Exactly, that's what I mean. It's like I would not want to watch it twice.
Yeah.
I kind of regret it slightly. But yeah, that's my movie that I watched recently.
Cool. Well, so I watched The Lion King. So I'm copping out and watched something mainstream. If you haven't seen the cartoon, then I won't say what it's about. But if you have, then you know what happens.
And yeah, that's the whole story.
That's pretty much.
Would you recommend it?
I do recommend it. I mean, if you grew up with the whole Disney thing, the Disney movies in the 90s, then it's something you'd want to see live action. I mean, it's close to watching a Nat Geo documentary.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, but the CG is just, it's great. It's fantastic.
I've heard people say that the CG was almost too good in that the characters didn't really have enough emotion in their face.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually,
wow.
that's what I heard coming into the movie, so I had that expectation. But because I already watched the cartoon and I grew up with it, I already knew what to feel like.
You knew how to feel.
Was it weird to see like quote unquote real animals talking? Because it's so realistic, right?
Yeah, but I guess if you've seen like Jungle Book, if
Oh,
you've
true.
seen that, and
Better or worse than
Yeah.
Jungle Book?
pardon,
Better or worse than Jungle Book?
I feel Jungle Book had more emotion in terms
the
of
animals?
in terms of
Did they
visually seeing it.
Are they talking that one?
I
Yeah.
haven't seen Jungle Book yet. No.
That and
How about the CGI wise? Because like I said, I haven't seen Jungle Book, so they're about the same.
it's about the same CGI wise.
I was wondering if you haven't seen the movie as a kid, trying to take yourself out of it,
I don't
and
think
just
anyone
having a
does
fresh
that.
it's gonna be hard, but having a fresh set of eyes, trying to take yourself out. How would you rate the new Lion King movie?
If you're seeing it for the first time and no backstory,
Yeah.
out of 10, I'd probably give it a 7.
That's
Yeah.
not bad.
That's like a really good review from Carson.
Yeah. Yeah, like top 10 of the year.
But yeah, I'd say go see it anyways.
Alright.
So the movie I saw somewhat recently was Toy Story 4.
I
which,
still have to see that. Damn.
contrasting to Lion King, I thought was a really unique story of like, it was not at all what I was expecting. I was almost expecting just like Toy Story again. But it seems like they've done a really good job with telling a different story. It almost felt like it was in a completely different franchise that was like, you didn't see this side of these characters before, which I really enjoyed. It's Pixar, it's really well done, the animation. The one thing that was kind of weird is the animation between now and when the first movie came out is so different.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
It looks too good, and it's like it's the way that you know these characters. But overall, I really recommend it. They did a pretty good job with that one. Also, shout out Keanu Reeves as a Canadian. Did a really good job.
Wait, what? Keanu Reeves?
Yeah,
Was it
I was
the
wondering. I
Duke?
know he was in it, but I was wondering who's he
He plays a
playing.
Canadian stuntman.
Yeah.
Is he like a
Duke,
main character in it, or Duke Caboose?
He's not like a major part of the movie. He's like a major part for like a small segment of it.
Oh, okay, okay.
But yeah,
Cool.
I recommend.
I second that.
Did you see it too?
I did.
Oh.
I have to catch up on all these movies. Toy Story, Lion King. Oh man.
Yeah.
I Too bad they're not on Netflix.
I mean, the older ones are.
Alright, let's talk about rom-coms, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
My turn.
Now
What is a rom-com? That is the heading of my segment. So it's one of those things like you think you know what a rom-com is, but do you really? Like, personally, I did some research leading up to this episode, and by that I mean I went on Wikipedia. And so there's like technical things that like make up a rom-com. Like if you're a movie producer, you have to have like the meet cute and like the
all those aspects.
yeah, certain things. I'm not gonna go into them yet, but I wanted to see what you guys think you need to have to make a rom-com versus a romance or versus a comedy, and I'm gonna throw some movies at you to see like where the line starts and ends. Okay.
All right.
Okay. I want to. I'll start with you guys to see what your take is first, and then I'm going to throw movies at you to see if I can test that.
Okay. So for me, what is a rom-com?
Yeah.
All right. For me,
just like general, give me a 30-second pitch.
30-second
of
pitch
what a rom-com
of what a rom-com is. Like I feel like it's pretty simple if I try to just generalize it, where the protagonist encounters someone of interest, and then it follows the development of their love story.
I see you went on Wikipedia.
And actually, I did not. And it just has a comedic take on everything.
Okay.
But like, if I want to be a slightly more detailed, like I feel like a good rom-com, it blends the romance and comedy so good together that you can't really tell it's either romance or comedy.
Interesting.
And it doesn't take you away from either aspect of comedy and romance. It just blends together. For a good rom-com.
Have I got some movies for you?
Oh man.
Okay. Yeah, this is why we have our rom-com experts here today. What about you, Allan?
Adding on to what Joseph said, yeah, it's a lighthearted take on romance, like a dramatic romance story, and like a pure comedic movie. And you blend that all together. It's lighthearted, and it usually ends up in a happy ending. So you leave the movie feeling good, feeling accomplished, like you know, like life is worth it.
Oh, I think I've seen some rom-com.
It's a quote from 500 Days.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one.
Oh, Tom. What about you, Carson?
I'm actually gonna disagree with both of you guys.
Damn it. I was like, I knew he was giving us a look.
At first I was thinking, like, you think about the term rom-com, and it's like, oh, 50% romance, 50% comedy. Once I thought about it more, and I was thinking about examples of what I think is and isn't, I think it has to be primarily a romance, and that it's the comedic version of the romance, kind of what you were saying, it's instead of the dramatic version of a romance. And if I were to weight it, I would say like 70% romance, 30% comedy, which is why I think it's also really hard to add any other genres in, because it has, like, I kind of thought back and forth of whether you could do a rom-com and mix in a third genre. I think you could, but it has to be like, you can't have too much action, you can't have too much sci-fi.
Yeah.
The plot has to be about the relationship, I don't think it needs to end on a happy ending or a sad ending, but the plot has to be primarily focused on will they or won't they.
Yeah.
Will they or won't they is the main thing.
Yeah, that I agree with, because I've seen some rom-coms where they end tragically and it kind of leaves you neutral, not like really sad feeling, but.
Also going to say that I don't think romance is necessary.
What?
Only because of I Love You Man.
Oh,
yeah,
yep.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's a very good
that's
start.
on my list. So would you count I Love You Man as a rom-com?
I would
actually.
I would count it as a
Yeah.
rom-com.
But
It's a bromance.
It's the love of a bro to another bro.
But it's not a rom-com.
Yeah. Well,
romance. It's
so,
still a.
So it's not its own like genre. It's not its own like spin-off of a rom-com.
I would still say, like, when watching it, like, you can just feel it's supposed to be a rom-com.
Yeah.
Whether it's like a spoof of a rom-com, maybe, but it makes me kind of question whether it needs to be romance or whether it just needs to be relationship, whatever form of a relationship that means.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. With the relationship part, like it's any form of
Any
development of a relationship between two people, and yeah, just going into that.
Okay. How about, have you guys seen Shape of Water?
I have not seen Shape of
So
Water.
it's basically Guillermo del Toro movie. This deaf lady is working in a government installation and she falls in love with this fish man that they're like running tests on. Would
So
you?
I would say to that, it has too much horror, and the comedy is sprinkled in, and it's not lighthearted comedy. Rom-coms have like a goofy type of comedy, whereas that one is like, it's a little bit more, I don't want to say sophisticated comedy, but it's like dry humor almost.
Okay.
Like Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Like what?
I
Like
think
Marvel
I saw the
movies.
trailer for that. Oh. I think I've seen the trailer for Shape of Water, and I think it looked more like a thriller to me than a rom-com.
Yeah.
But I feel like they could still develop some sort of relationship, but it's not primarily focused on that.
Okay. How about Warm Bodies? Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Yes.
I've seen that one. I do like that one. I really like that movie. Only because it took a slightly different take on zombies, and
Not on Shakespeare.
for me it was more on zombies, the way they, instead of how zombies usually are, brainless, all that stuff. It was just different. That's why I liked it.
So not to shit on you, but like
Please shut away.
Because I like zombie movies, and I felt like it was that was the worst part of that movie.
You didn't like that zombies could come back to life through the power of
Yeah, and the power of feelings,
feelings,
and that they have a heartbeat and they could talk.
I can't even speak words. So would you count Warm Bodies as a rom-com?
I think.
Or is there too much zombie in it?
I think it is more of a rom-com. I think I would classify it as a rom-com, just because of how it's focusing on him having feelings, and this girl is initiating it. And even with his friends too, like they're starting to feel it all too, and I don't know, he develops some sort of relationship with that girl that kind of. I don't know where to go from it. It's just like I think
it's not on the highest end of the rom-com spectrum.
So there's a scale.
Yeah.
There is a scale. It's on the lower end, but I still think it does count because they kind of have a love thing going on, and then that brings them to becoming human, and it's kind of focused on that, and then not trying to spoil the movie too much, but there's that kind of side action stuff going on with other zombies.
Okay.
So
Like a rom-action-com.
yeah, so that, even with what you were saying with Shape of Water, I think going back to Carson, I don't think mixing in like a third genre, it just makes it more difficult to really say if it's a rom-com when you try to toss a third one in.
And I think in Warm Bodies too, like there's enough of the plot that's about him coming back to life and them surviving zombies that it kind of takes away from the rom-com element. Like it's like
true.
60% romance, 20% comedy, and 20% other stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a diluted rom-com.
Yeah.
Don't they end up fighting other zombies?
Yeah, like words like
Bonies, there you go,
Yeah.
Bonies. Yeah.
the more zombies, or
The one with no feelings at all.
yeah, that they can't be saved by the power of love. Okay, I regret already bringing that one. Okay, how about let's bring it all the way back. Let's get a little closer, or like an easier example, I guess.
Yeah, we should probably start with these.
I probably should have, but I just wanted to like
throwing a curveball at us.
How about Dirty Grandpa?
No, not at all.
I mean, if you count the relationship of the grandpa and the grandson, unless I'm getting my movies mixed up.
No,
that's
Wait, which one is this? The
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro. Yeah, that
And Zac
Efron. Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking of.
I think. Were you thinking Dirty Grandpa?
I think I.
That's what I said.
No, there's Dirty Grandpa and Bad Grandpa.
Bad Grandpa. Wait.
Bad Grandpa. With
The one-
Judd Knoxville? No.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're
Not
thinking
that
of.
one.
Okay.
Not that one, no.
Okay. Well, that's.
But in a way, he still does have a relationship with his grandson. That's kind of forming.
So
But
that's
but
the
I don't.
relationship you're talking about?
But I still don't think that counts as a rom-com. Because it's not like a affectionate one. I feel like it's a little different when it's, I guess, family like that.
Okay, so the elements that we've agreed upon so far are there's the relationship has to be primary.
Yeah.
There can be other genres sprinkled in. What was you had one? Lighthearted, because that ruled out which one?
Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. And then satisfying ending. I think that was one from Allan.
From Allan.
Yeah.
For me, it's satisfying ending. Some of the other rom-coms, they don't. Some that I've seen, they don't have the most satisfying ending. But I mean, it still kind of leaves you hopeful. So I don't know if it really counts.
Okay.
That's actually something I'm gonna agree with there in that it has to portray love in like a magical sense. Like when I think Dirty Grandpa, there's like other types of love involved. In a rom-com, love is like this powerful thing, and it's always innocent and pure and great and all that stuff.
Thank you, Carson. So how about Forrest Gump?
Oh, that movie is
So Forrest's motivation throughout the entire movie is Jenny and his love for Jenny. And I feel like in a certain way it shows that a simple man can overcome all these grand things with the power of love.
I feel like that's more on the drama side of things, because it has a little bit more of a serious undertone.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they do focus on the war and stuff a lot, and then the whole
But
there's
like
a lot of
even most of the whole war segment when he goes to Vietnam, it's kind of like filmed through it's shown through like a more lighthearted, like there's serious parts of course, like Bubba, the end of Bubba, but the majority of it is like lighthearted. I would say at least.
Well, I guess it was like minimal comedy sprinkled onto it.
And there wasn't enough Jenny.
yeah.
Really?
I felt like there wasn't enough Jenny either.
So maybe it was portraying more of his growth and his journey.
That's what I mean. As a person
that's
going
your
through
point.
his life,
So
which
the
happens to have a
spirit
romance.
of Jenny that's like hanging over his life is not enough.
No, it doesn't completely control everything on how he develops.
With Jenny to kind of see her side of things, and there's a lot of adventures he goes on that's just kind of like him doing his own thing.
Yeah, and it has nothing related really to do with anything. Jenny.
Okay, so I guess that also rules out Princess Bride. Because what's his name? What's the main guy?
Oh my gosh, I forgot about this movie.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Inigo Montoya?
No, what? That's the masked guy who became a pirate. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I can't think of it. I was trying really hard to think. I can't think.
Okay, how about Star Wars 2: Attack of the Clones?
Oh my, is this a serious question?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say.
There's romance in there.
Yeah, but would you call
There's a little bit of
an
everything.
intentional comedy?
There's a bromance. There's the stuff with him and Anakin and oh my god, Princess Padme. Yeah, Padme. So Senator Padme. So there's different romances going on.
Okay, let's how about American Pie?
I think
There's a focus between what's his name?
I think for me that counts just because I guess the focus of the movie is like him trying to
Get into a relationship. Or have sex.
Sorry,
Have
sex, but then it's kind of also him, wanting some sort of love, but then he's kind of developing and figuring out that he doesn't just want sex.
Really? Because I thought this one was a bit.
Well, kind of, I guess.
I think it's more on the comedy side.
Yeah, I feel like this one is
then
more just
and then
comedy.
they sprinkled romance.
They sprinkled romance, so it doesn't go with
Is there
Carson's
any romance in
70%.
this one?
I mean, yeah, between him and Nadia.
Is that romance?
I think that's
2019 could be.
with all the movies that are out now, maybe.
Okay, well, I'm no closer to determining what.
What romance?
No, I mean, so we have our main principles of rom-coms. I think the scale is a big thing. There's some that are more rom-commy than others. Is there anything else that you guys want to add?
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
That's a rom-com.
Really?
Yeah.
I specifically picked my criteria saying that didn't feel like a rom-com.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm actually upset that I didn't think of that one.
For me, even though I agree with you earlier with it has to be more romance, maybe like 60-70% than the rest comedy, I actually feel like Scott Pilgrim was a rom-com. Just a slightly different way of doing a rom-com.
Action
I feel like
rom-com.
It's very close.
Yeah.
But it's too comedic.
comedic?
Yeah.
If anything, the problem that I would have had with that being a rom-com is that it's not. Oh, sorry. It's not like cheesy romantic. Because for me, that's what I think.
That's what you feel like
it
defines a
has
rom-com.
that
The cheesiness.
Really
sure.
cutesy, whatever
Yeah,
kind of
like, Because
feeling
even
to
in the
it.
ones where they don't end up together, or it's like one that's like flipping everything on their head, it's like it has to have those elements of like, oh, I love her so much, and like in Scott Pilgrim, it's kind of like he's infatuated with Ramona.
Yeah.
And as much as I love that movie, it's kind of confusing in the end because he's supposed to have like learned his lesson, but then in the end, Knives is just like, go after her, like. Even though he just learned like don't do things for a girl, do it for yourself.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, no, go get the girl.
I think he gets the best of both worlds. Like he learned how to do it for himself, and then he can also get the girl. They don't have to be mutually exclusive.
I guess.
And that's what I mean with endings. It doesn't necessarily have to be like so. I guess
Yeah.
straight up happy. Like oh they're together or this is that's.
Yeah.
How the relationship goes. I feel like rom-coms, they don't have to be happy ending completely.
Okay, so
I
guess before we wrap this segment up, I want to ask about one more movie because I haven't seen it, and it was listed as a rom-com when I did my Google search. It was coming to America with Eddie Murphy.
No, that is the Royal Penis is Clean. That one, no.
Yes.
The what?
Royal Penis is Clean. That's where.
Is Eddie? So he's like an African prince.
Yeah.
He's like trying to run away from his arranged marriage.
And he's coming to. Was it New York? I think.
Yeah.
I think he was in New York. He comes to the city and he's just. It's really old. I don't think that one is more comedy for me than romance. Yeah.
Do you know? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it, but like I just remember bits and pieces right now. It's been a while.
Can you explain to me why you think someone would categorize it as a rom-com?
I have no clue. Maybe just because he's.
Okay.
Because the original, maybe because there's some like romance or love story sprinkled in.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like it's still more comedy than anything.
Okay, so it's not even on the scale.
For me, no. For me, it doesn't cut it onto my scale. But I know that they haven't seen it yet.
Never even heard of this movie.
So, anyone listening, if you agree, disagree, let us know on our Instagram comments.
Yes, let us know what also is part of a rom-com. What makes a rom-com?
Well, I think we determined that much.
Yeah.
and also tell us what's the deal with Coming to America.
Okay, we'll cap it off there, and before we move on to our next segment, I'm going to do a rapid-fire question segment for Allan.
Okay.
Good luck.
Got 5 questions for you.
No
Don't
explanation.
explain the answer, just give us an answer.
Perfect.
This is quick. What movie mom would you choose to be your mom?
Jennifer Lopez.
Whoa.
From what movie?
Made in Manhattan.
Pick a movie character to be your BFF.
Oh my gosh, Ned from. Wait, sorry, say it again.
Movie character.
Movie character to be your BFF.
Okay, Ned from Spider-Man.
Oh, Ned.
Oh, okay.
They meant Ned Flanders.
From
the
the Filipino guy from the new Spider-Man.
The big guy.
Oh, okay.
Guy in the chair.
Yeah, that guy.
What movie character would it be the worst action figure to make an action figure out of?
Oh, what?
I didn't really think about this question.
I was about to say Batman for some reason.
That's the best one.
I know. Mr. Fantastic. Because if you overstretch, she's gonna break, and then you're gonna have to buy a new one.
That's good for sale.
That's too much of an explanation. If they made a biopic about your life, what would it be called?
The Band.
Oh, okay.
And then last one, what is the best movie monster?
Godzilla.
Alright.
I like that answer.
The action figure, I would have said Scarlett Johansson from Her.
Wouldn't that be the iPhone?
Maybe. God, that would be a great one.
but I haven't.
Okay, so for this next one, basically taking our rapid fire segment but expanding it and making it about rom-com themed. So I sent you guys 7 questions about rom-coms that we're going to talk about. We'll see how many we get through. So just a kind of an easy one to start off, and I think you guys talked about this a little bit so far, but what is your favorite rom-com?
So mine is 500 Days of Summer. I say this because when I was working at my previous job, and it just came out on DVD and digital download, I downloaded it onto my phone and I watched it every day for maybe 2 months.
Wow.
I can.
During my break.
I've watched it at least 20 times.
Alright. So I guess that's the same answer for both you guys.
For me, no, mine, it was either going to be 500 Days of Summer, this Korean movie called Art of Seduction, but I kind of actually ended up with Crazy Stupid Love.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Just because that one scene where they're all fighting in the backyard. that was just killing me. Yeah, so for me, that's my favorite rom-com. Crazy Stupid Love.
So there you go.
I don't know. I don't think I do. I mean, I'm really not a fan of rom-coms in general. I'm sure there's like one that I'm missing that's like not a typical one and it's okay that I actually kind of liked it. I do remember a long, long time ago, my sister made me watch My Sassy Girl. Which is
That's a good one.
Yeah. And
guess I'm gonna have to watch that tomorrow.
I actually thought that one was kind of funny, but like just with, I feel like with all Korean movies, no offense to all the Koreans listening, but they're like it's like emotional terrorism. Like they just have to. It's so much cheese that it like hurts your heart.
Yeah.
Art of Seduction.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're all they so cheesy and cringy.
So I guess that's no, you know what? I Love You Man.
Oh, okay.
That's like my favorite
I like that
movie,
one.
So one of my favorite movies.
More
And
than
then we've determined that it's a rom-com.
More than Scott Pilgrim?
Huh?
More than Scott Pilgrim?
But that's less of a rom-com than I Love You Man.
But I mean, based on what Carson said earlier.
Yeah, wait, you said no, right?
Oh, I was gonna cheat and say Scott Pilgrim too, because I can't think
Yeah, no, I Love You Man is definitely.
I Love You Man. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like if I had to pick any others, like the one that comes to my head is like Knocked Up. Because I don't like any of them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Seth Rogen's character is kind of funny, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
You don't agree with Katherine Heigl that the movie
I don't even
is
remember.
sexist and paints women in a bad light?
Yeah, she did the movie.
I don't like her.
Huh?
I don't like Katherine Heigl.
No?
I hear she's not the greatest personality.
Hollywood,
Yeah, apparently she has a sour personality. Let's put it that way.
But I mean, because we're talking about movies, but she's good in Suits, but that's a TV show.
And we don't talk about those.
Yeah.
You don't.
Fun
There's
TV.
no place for that here.
Or 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, that one I agree with.
A solid second place to I Love You Man.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna add 50 First Dates in there as well.
Oh, okay.
I like that one.
Yeah, 51st Dates is good.
It's like one of Adam Sandler's less offensive movies.
Yeah, that one actually. I like that more for Adam Sandler for one of his movies. Aside from the classics, like.
I am still predicting Adam Sandler to get an Oscar nomination this year.
For what?
For the Netflix movie he has.
For Uncut Gems.
Oh, okay.
That one I didn't see.
Not Murder Mystery?
Yeah, Murder
I watched
Mystery.
that actually.
Did you?
It was terrible.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't watch.
It's funny because the trailer came out a few days later for the new Ryan Johnson movie, which is basically Murder Mystery, but good. Anyway, next question. This is a fan submission for this question.
Ooh, thank you, fans.
Rom-coms
We're
are
listening.
dumb, so why do so many people love them?
Wait, I thought that was going to be from Suwon, but
It
that
is.
doesn't sound... It is?
She's a fan.
Specifically, she told me to add this, so.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. Who's gonna?
I think it goes back to what you guys said. It's like the feeling of like, ooh,
Yeah.
it feels nice.
It has you leaving the theater or the couch like all feel good, lovey dovey type of feelings in your tummy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it escapism?
I feel like it is. I feel like there's a few reasons why people like it. I feel like it does take a funny, truthful take on relationships, dating, that whole that whole thing, and even with I guess for people that are in relationships, kind of brings up stuff they can relate to, and just make fun of and be like, oh, it's not just me that goes through these funny awkward situations.
I don't like watching that though. You know what's weird? I get that. I think I get that type of feeling from like, you know, like a battle scene when like they're like the good guys are like losing, and then there's like this. Like when Gandalf shows up with the riders
and
of
he comes to save
Oh my
everyone.
god, that was so epic.
That's what gives me that ooh.
That way, like the portal scene so much.
The which?
The portal scene
yeah.
on your left.
Yeah. That kind of stuff. That's what gets me.
Oh, okay.
But you remember Friends with Benefits with Justin Timberlake and
Mila Kunis.
Yeah, I think she said something during that movie that had a take on like romance movies in general, that it makes you feel good, and yeah, it's like some stuff are very far fetched that you want to believe that this would happen, so you kind of reference that in your life, like, oh, I want this Prince Charming, or I want this hot looking busty
brunette or whatever.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it sometimes gives people hope for people that aren't in relationships or that want to date and feel love and have feelings.
And that's why it's always the everyman in like the blank slate that you can just put
yourself into.
Yeah.
So that's a good segue to another question we had. What have you guys learned about romance from rom-coms? Have you guys implemented any of these learnings? Have you ever copied something from a rom-com before?
Well, I mean, I haven't been in a relationship in a while, but for the last time I was in a relationship, I guess for me it's kind of like just watching some rom-coms. It's like there's two sides of the story. Like sometimes there's always two sides to the story. So sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm wrong and maybe they're right, or like I'll try to understand them a bit more. And another thing is from rom-coms is that I've learned is sometimes you just have to speak your mind, because if you just say one thing, that would just save you from a whole shitstorm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a whole shitstorm of problems that you can
know what?
nip in the bud.
That's one of the things I hate about stupid rom-coms. If people just said like, no, this girl tried to come on to me. Boom.
Boom.
No problem. That kind of thing. Anyways, sorry.
But that's like in a lot of movies in general. Oh, maybe they should have gone in the barn door. Then they would have.
Yeah, no, for any horror movie too. It's like, oh, maybe if they didn't go in the creepy house, they would also be alive.
No, but like, I feel like it's so much easier as like the person is walking out the door to be like, wait, I lied because my mom is sick.
Yeah, just.
I something like that.
Don't leave. I actually love you.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just something simple as that.
Yeah.
Hey, I love you. Just admitting feelings, like, just say the one thing.
Not even like something, because admitting feelings. Okay.
That's still a big one.
Like,
That's a bigger one.
harder.
That's harder for
but
sure.
Like,
but
a lot of these movies, I feel like they have that. There has to be like that the conflict, like the drama.
yeah.
So like everything is great with them, and then they fall apart because his ex-girlfriend came back. All you have to say is like, no, I actually don't like her anymore.
Yeah.
Boom, it's done.
Or like they had like a gambling problem that they just slowly discovered, like they slowly created, and they're like started lying about it when they could have just said, oh yeah, I spent it on gambling. Like I have an issue with that. Yeah, no, I had a different example in my head. Something else came out. That's still a bad one. Yeah. Then she continues walking away.
What was the question?
What did you learn from rom-coms?
Yeah.
I've learned, and I know this is very like naive of me, but like it'll all eventually work out in the end.
For me, I guess I kind of take that. I take that away too, just a little bit. Like it's one of those things that
like regardless of if it's bad or not, like it'll all just work out.
Yeah.
Right? No, that's
Fair.
I feel like I also learned like that there's no real, I guess, format or guideline to love and finding love and dating relationships. You kind of just go with the flow with the other person, and just, you know, because what works with someone else doesn't work with you know, might not work with you. So yeah.
What have you learned, Carson?
I feel like I haven't learned any positive lessons.
Rom-coms are dumb.
I don't know if it's about rom-coms or just like romance, like movies or TV shows in general, but there's this concept of like needing to put on an act or like do a certain, like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, um, when you talk about like guys having the skill of like picking up women, and it's like, oh, you gotta do this thing, you gotta do this trick, and it's like,
You have to be mean to her.
yeah, like any advice of anything like that, just like never has turned out positively.
No.
First date that I had with current girlfriend, I feel like there was a part of first date that I learned from movies where it's like, you're supposed to leave on a good note. So it's like, it gets to a point where it's like, okay, this is a good date and just get out of there before you mess it up too bad.
Yeah.
I may have actually learned this from Seinfeld. With George, where he does that. And like on our first date, I was like, okay, bye. She thought I'd never like her and I'd never call her back ever again. It turned out well, but because I was listening to rom-coms and shouldn't listen to rom-coms.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Just go with your own flow. Just don't listen to the advice, the things they say.
I mean, I don't think I've really learned anything from movies in general. Like, even the ones like the Disney ones that have a good message, like I always take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Like Moana or something.
Moana.
Moana?
Did I say that wrong?
I don't know. I've been.
Very.
Actually, no, that's a bad example because be good to the environment is always good.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like love everyone.
Like,
Love nature.
or I don't know, with the forget it.
I would say though, like one good lesson that rom-coms do have is like, usually at the end of the movie, one person admits their feelings and then everything just like works out. And it's like,
Yeah,
whether
they're
it
not
works
all-
out or not, like admitting your feelings always just is the right thing to do, in my opinion.
Yeah. Just tell the truth.
Like what was that? The breakup with Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
So he admitted that he's like being a douche, he's being very selfish, like at the very end, but they never ended up back together. But it all worked out because, you know, she was doing her thing, he was doing his own thing, and then it was all just gravy.
Yeah.
You know what's another one? Wanderlust with Paul Rudd. Have you seen that?
I know
Paul
what
Rudd
you're
is
talking
Jennifer
about.
Aniston.
Is that when they go to like a camp or like a
Yeah, it's
like
like
a retreat?
A commune,
Okay.
No, that one I haven't seen.
and they're all like hippies and.
Oh, I think
I've
I
seen
think I saw
bits
the
and parts
trailer. I
of it.
didn't want to watch it.
So it's literally the only reason, well, not the only reason why I like that, but it's Paul Rudd, one, and then two, there's a scene where he's like psyching himself up to have sex with his Malin Ackerman, who's like living at the commune, and because like they're all open and like, oh, you can have sex with everyone, and
Yeah.
he's like trying to get into the spirit of it, I guess, because Jennifer Aniston says he can. He's like talking into the mirror, and he's like psyching himself up, and just the way that Paul Rudd talks, and just watch it.
Alright.
It's a rewatch then.
That I'll actually
Don't
try to
even watch
watch
the
then.
movie, just watch that scene.
Watched a very different version of that story called Midsummer.
That was it good?
It was very good.
It's a horror movie.
Okay, next question I had was what rom-com character is most like you? I feel like you guys have both answered that already. Do you have a different answer?
I do actually.
Yeah, you could go first. Mine.
I chose Mikey from That Awkward Moment. He's played by Michael B. Jordan.
That one?
Yeah.
That guy? I mean,
Yeah. That guy. Because in the movie, he portrayed a very loyal husband, and then only to find out that his wife was cheating on him. And then the whole premise of the movie was that, you know, it was three dudes that pretty much wanted to, you know, spend time with each other because Zac Efron missed hanging out with his best friends and all that. And then moving forward along the movie, he was trying to work out his relationship with his ex-wife because that's what he does. He works on relationships. He didn't want to let it go. He didn't want to just leave it in the dust. And yeah, and I guess I could relate to that a lot because I don't like leaving things unsettled per se, but you know, I like having closure, and I like working on something to make it work.
True.
Okay. For me,
Good series.
we actually don't have the same answer this time.
Oh, yes.
Or something. But for me, it's hard to pick just one character because I feel like as a person, I guess changed and I guess matured more in how I am with relationships. Like sometimes I guess I was hopeless romantic like maybe let's say 500 Days of Summer or someone else, and then maybe I became like the guy from Art of Seduction who kind of just liked the chase. And then other people like someone who's more cynical like Gerard Butler in Ugly Truth, or or someone like Don John, Joseph Gordon-Levitt like in Don John. I don't know if that counts as a rom-com. I want to bring that up earlier. And then even just like someone like Ryan, is it Ryan Gosling in Crazy Stupid Love?
Yeah.
Where he's kind of I guess a bit of a playboy, and then he doesn't really feel like you'll ever find one person that to really love, and then he sees Emma Stone. So yeah, I feel like I'm a progression between a bunch of different movies.
And then where have you landed?
A little bit of everything, I think.
all of them?
All of them combined, just in different percents. Yeah, that's
I was gonna use Scott Pilgrim for me again, because he's so completely unaware of what's going on in relationships and emotions. Yeah, I relate to that.
I would have used him as well, but I used him for my introduction in our first episode. So I'm gonna go with Anakin from Star Wars. No, I'm gonna go with Peter Clavin from I Love You Man.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Just a very awkward guy.
Who's that? Which one?
From
Oh, it was Paul Rudd? Oh, I thought it was
Peter Clavin.
other guy.
What? Oh, no, not Sydney.
Sydney, there you go.
No, not him.
Oh, I thought he was Sydney.
I don't
Okay, I
have a
mixed that up.
Okay, I'm gonna end this segment off with one more question. What rom-com character would you fall for? I.e., what is your type in terms of rom-com character?
I feel like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Mila Kunis, is quite similar to Faye, actually. So that's
Yeah,
and
I
also,
could see that.
also she's nice.
She look nice.
Okay, Faye's not listening.
Yet. Mine's a contradiction of my current status. Let's just hope my fiance's not listening. So I have this like high school little boy crush on Zoe Deschanel, just because she's like very quirky and very awkward at times, and she's also super pretty. But my fiance is like total opposite of like. Hold on, no. Let me explain. So
this is what she's gonna be listening now.
So she's very loud. She's very like in your face, and she's very like yeah, and she's very like tell it how it is.
Just straight up.
Yeah, she's a very straight up shooter. So I never thought I would end up with someone like that. But I guess that's what they say about like, you know, opposites attract and whatnot. Because she's like a total opposite of me in that sense. But she's beautiful too. I think that's why you were laughing earlier, right? The way I segued.
Yeah.
That's why I'm explaining it now.
We're good. I think
I love her.
For me, it would be the type of character that Emma Stone played in Crazy Stupid Love, just because she's kind of just in a way what you were saying, like she's just the type of person that's straight up, and like she just kind of said it how it is, and she's also kind of chill. You get that chill vibe from her, and yeah, she still has I guess some romance in there too. Like it's and she's a bit wholesome as well. Nice wholesome person that's not ratchet and just crazy. Even though the movie's called Crazy Stupid Love. Her or any character that Rachel McAdams plays. All the characters, The Vow, Notebook.
Have you seen About Time?
About Time is another one that
I love her.
About Time, she's really good in About Time. She's just the type of character she plays in all those movies. They're kind of similar, and yeah, I think it'd be someone like her.
Traveler's Wife.
She's been pretty much the same in every movie, hasn't she?
Yeah, this similar character at least. So that's why I like her.
She Regina George.
Yes,
Yes.
she was. Okay, that was different.
Yeah. Do you like her as that?
Okay.
I wasn't planning to make it this consistent. I didn't plan any of these questions, so I'm making it up on the spot, but I'm going with Ramona Flowers. I like the hair.
The hair, yeah.
That does it for me.
Gets me going. Okay, great answers, guys.
Thank you.
So we're gonna keep things moving with another rapid fire question round. Now this one is for Joe.
Here it comes.
So you have 5 seconds for each question.
Oh, okay.
And no explanation allowed unless it's really weird. You ready?
Not really, but let's
You
do
bet.
it.
Who would win in a fight? Hero Yui and Wing Zero versus Optimus Prime and Bumblebee.
Oh, Hero Yui.
Okay.
And yeah, Wing Zero, easy.
Cast the movie of your life, your significant other, and your villain.
Kristen Crook and the villain from Smallville. But I can't say TV show. Let's go. Chris Hemsworth is my villain.
He's your villain. It's like you versus the guy. Whatever.
Yeah.
Cast the person on your left in their movie.
In their movie, Tom Hiddleston.
How do you die in your movie?
Very, very tragic death.
How?
I
want
get killed by mobsters. Every mobster.
How?
Every mobster.
Every mobster, I get.
They just dogpile on you?
Pretty much, I guess. It's like, what's that movie with Jet Li where he's unleashed? Kind of like that. They all send someone like Jet Li for me.
Wait, what?
You know the movie Unleashed with Jet Li?
No.
Yeah.
So
They send someone like Jet Li to come and kill me, and he just beats me to death senselessly,
Okay.
and it takes really long for some reason to kill me.
Okay, you are you're the god, you're god of the world, and you've decided to destroy the world. What movie disaster do you use?
Day After Tomorrow.
Like climate change?
Yeah, climate change stuff, I guess. Yeah, climate change stuff.
You're doing that to us now?
I think that's it. Time.
Cool. All right, time for my favorite segment of the episode. I wish I had actually mentioned this early on in the episode when I was introducing it because it was like the highlight of the episode. But thank you to those of you who are actually still listening. You get a treat by having our best segment. And this is of course going to be pitch your own rom-com movie. So the three of you guys will be coming up with your own original rom-com. I've given you guys some criteria that you have to implement as part of this. So this is, you are pitching an original rom-com movie, so your own story. You have to have 4 of the character stereotypes that we usually find in rom-coms. That being the protagonist's love interest, that love interest's current relationship, and then the protagonist's wacky best friend. All of these characters have to be pre-existing characters from a movie that has made at least $200 million at the U.S. box office. So what we were going for is like famous characters. And I'll give you guys about 5 to 7 minutes each to pitch that. So who wants to go first?
Paulo's ready.
Okay, I'll go first.
There we go.
Okay, so this is a reimagining of A Bug's Life. It's centered around the praying mantis, who is from the circus. So but it's a rated R comedy, romantic comedy. Yeah, so think it's a cross between A Bug's Life and Sausage Party. So again, the protagonist is the praying mantis. I forget his name. But basically, his whole struggle is that he's trying to find love, but the problem is, anytime a praying mantis gets together with another praying mantis, the female eats his head. This is like science, like it happens in real life. So it's like it has themes of like the fear of commitment, and it's a metaphor for that, even though it actually does happen. So he's going through like the main main guy, I'm recasting him as Jonah Hill.
Is this an actual character?
Yeah, in real life or
yeah,
animated?
in A Bug's Life.
Okay.
Yeah. He's one of the circus bugs that helps the ants.
You're being judged.
Hey, let me finish. So yeah, he's voiced by Jonah Hill now. And yeah, his whole issue is trying to find love. He's scared of commitment because he doesn't want his head bitten off after their first night together. His current girlfriend is she's the princess from A Bug's Life. Her relationship with the other ant ended very poorly, so now they're together. But he's doing that because it's safe, even though she's really boring and she sucks and she's she's prissy and everything and she doesn't even really like him. So he's in this relationship, but he feels like he has to find someone of his own kind because that's this is what he's longing for. It's what he's missing in his life, and he wants an adventure, and he wants a little bit of that that danger, I guess, like a quirky, like a spunky lady who may or may not eat him after they sleep together. And then his best friend. This is really a real shame. I can't use anyone from Ants because that movie didn't make enough money. But his quirky best friend is the caterpillar from. He's also a circus bug.
Yeah.
He's like the I don't know Swedish or whatever. He
talks
like this.
That was actually perfect.
So he's like the comic relief, and he's a lazy guy himself. So he's he doesn't want. He's just be happy. She's a princess. Don't. You want to die? Don't look for a praying mantis. And then basically, did I cover? Yeah, all four. And then basically he just he makes his way through his touring of the circus life, and then he meets this other praying mantis who's exactly what he's looking for, but he just can't get over the fear of death. And she is voiced by Katherine Heigl. I forgot who I originally casted. And they hit it off, everything's great. And he takes the leap, and then at the end of the movie, she actually beats him.
Wait, so who voices the caterpillar? Same guy?
Caterpillar is voiced by Josh Gad.
Okay. So he's currently dating.
Yes. Oh, and wait.
Who's the ant played by? That's what I was wondering.
Huh?
The princess.
Yeah, the princess. That's Selena Gomez.
Okay.
So is he capable of sustaining this relationship and not getting eaten?
With the ant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the incentive for him mating a praying mantis?
Because it's just it's what his natural.
It's what his just heart's desire is, I guess.
And also not only that, he doesn't feel like he was meant to be with this ant. This is not. It's like one of those a marriage where he just settled.
Settled. That's what I was gonna say. He just settled with that, and it's whatever.
I'm trying to ask questions. That's not what I was expecting. So how close to sausage party are we talking here?
I mean, in terms of it being an R-rated comedy rom-com, it's not really rom-com comedy with inanimate objects. Well, no, they're bugs. So basically, it's just foul.
Do you guys have questions for Paula?
I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
But because he did mention that it was gonna be similar to Sausage Party, that's something I might want to see. Because I could just imagine the jokes they would try to make with praying mantis trying to eat his head off and how freaked out he might be. Because he said Jonah Hill's gonna be voicing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like it's a movie that I'd be into, but yeah.
I would also like to see this movie.
I feel like this is just Bug's Life Part 2, but just rated R.
I'm good.
I do like the analogy of committing in a relationship, fear of commitment to fear of getting your head ripped off. I don't know what that says about it.
That we enter relationships blindingly? Just kidding.
It's taking that leap of faith. You put yourself out there,
and you take that risk
to only get your head bitten
Your
off.
heart ripped out, or head bitten off, or you don't. And then, but you just gotta do it. You gotta do it, man.
All
Oh, it's me. All right. Okay. So I guess I set mine up a little differently, and for me, the protagonist, I guess the characters I'm using are from they're all pretty much superheroes. You already know who plays them. I'm using the same characters as they are presented in their movies. So my protagonist is Aquaman, Jason Momoa. Romantic interest is Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. The current relationship is Margot Robbie. And then the wacky best friend is Chris Hemsworth. So Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn and Chris Hemsworth as Thor. So it's a Marvel DC
Wait,
mix.
Aquaman is currently with Harley Quinn?
No, he's the main character. Harley Quinn and Gal Gadot are in a relationship together.
Oh!
Yes.
Okay.
So now I guess I'll begin my story. Here we go. Aquaman, he's a little bit different from how he's portrayed in the movie, but Aquaman, who's part hopeless romantic, part fuckboy, he's kind of lost hope on settling down and finding love, and he's not the type to really like to go out and whatnot, and he would usually only go to the bar with his best friend Chris Hemsworth, who's the comedic relief for the movie. He's always a wacky best friend that brings him into weird situations. And then one time while Chris was out of town for some crazy 100-day long party adventure, Aquaman decided to go to a different bar than he usually does. And that's when he bumps into this girl that he meets, sparks fly, and that girl is Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. This is, I guess, it's a whole unique universe. And then, yeah, so their relationship pretty much takes off like a rocket ship. And then, unfortunately, it explodes, and then they kind of just, I guess, have a falling out, and he's stuck being alone again. So he's really... Oh, wait, sorry. He actually meets a girl, just a random girl. Sorry, I mixed my story up a bit, so let me start that part again. So Aquaman goes to a bar, he meets a girl, he falls crazy in love with her, and then they have this really heated spark, and rockets, like a rocket ship. I like to use rocket ship. Yeah. So that's the rocket ship I was talking about. And then that kind of exploded, crashed and burned, and then now he's just feeling miserable, and he's now on his last whims with, I'm only going to give love one more shot. So what happens was, while he's kind of, I guess, going through that phase, he gets a call from Chris Hemsworth, Thor, saying that, he's like, hey, I'm just coming back from my 100-day party with some friends I met. Hey, let's go to our usual bar and meet up. So when he goes to the bar and meets them up, that's when he runs into Gal Gadot, and then, they start kicking it off. He introduces them together, and then, you can clearly see there's something kind of going on between them. But then one of the friends that arrives late just comes up to her, to Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, and gives her a kiss right on lips and says, sorry, I'm late, babe. And then he realizes, oh, Harley Quinn is Gal Gadot's girlfriend.
You just want to see them kiss.
So after he realized that he's their girlfriend, he kind of just steps it back a bit. And as the night goes on, they kind of exchange stories of what happened in that 100-day party. And then they exchange stories of, their drug-filled escapades on their, let's say, Euro tour. And then, pretty much, it just continues to go on with Chris hanging out with his old friends and playing the jokester and getting them in weird situations. And slowly... Yeah, it's like Funny Thor. And then they kind of get into a situation where he ends up just on a balcony having a real talk with Wonder Woman. And then that's when Wonder Woman pretty much reveals that, she's actually, they start selling into a city because they've always been traveling party people. Gal Gadot and Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn and Wonder Woman have been traveling party people that don't really settle down in a city, and they finally decide to settle down in the city that Jason Momoa Aquaman is in. So then while she's settling down, she realizes, I think the only reason I was with Margot Robbie is because I was on drugs and stuff and and all that stuff. So now that I'm settling in the city, I have a new perspective on things, and I don't know how to leave her. And the thing is that Margot Robbie's like such a nice girl, so she's not even like that bad of a person.
Quinn is a nice girl?
Yeah, that's what I told you. It's a new take on everything.
Okay.
And then eventually, just that they eventually fall in love, and then they find a way out of getting her out of that relationship, while Thor and Harley Quinn continue to be party people and static characters that don't really change or develop. And that's my romance, my rom-com.
Is this rated R?
18 plus. It's 18 plus, not rated R.
It shows their drug escapades.
What kind of drugs do superheroes have to take?
A lot. I don't know.
Crush.
Kryptonite. That's what I was gonna say. Kryptonite.
Do they do any crime fighting at all?
No,
Or are
no.
they escaping crime?
I was thinking of mixing it in together with some, action, but then like Carson was saying earlier, which I thought about, I'm like, I think I'm making more of an action-filled movie with some romance, so I kind of took that part out altogether. This is them on their spare time.
You guys have any other questions for me?
I'll leave it to you.
I have some questions at the end for all of you guys.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Okay. Oh god. Perfect. So that's my story. Thanks guys for listening and joining me on that adventure.
Alex, finish us off.
All right, so I'm doing a reimagining of She's All That.
Nice classic.
And I copped out and used superheroes as well. So you're getting double superhero fun. So I'm casting Batman as the protagonist. I'm casting Wonder Woman as the love interest.
Wait, which Batman?
The recent Batman.
Batman versus Superman. Batfleck.
Yeah, Batfleck. And then I am casting Superman as the best friend. There is no relationship
Interesting.
with
No
no,
existing.
yeah, no existing relationship. So Batman is going to be played by Taron Egerton.
Wait,
What movie? Who that?
Batman is?
Yeah. Kingsman.
Oh, Kingsman. Oh,
So he's gonna play Batman.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, so my
Oh, so it's a new Batman.
yeah. So they're all gonna be recast. Wonder Woman is gonna be played by Emma Watson, and Superman is going to be cast as JGL or Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Superman.
As Superman,
Oh, God.
but his Don John body.
Yeah. Okay, that's okay because Don John is.
All right, so it's gonna be like the Justice League Academy, where the previous heroes pass down their armor or their suits, and the next person kind of takes on the superhero. So
Okay.
so basically, Batman makes a bet with Superman, saying that he can choose any of these aspiring super heroines to become the next Wonder Woman. Because Batman is so like cocky and like, yeah, I can do that. Just watch me. So Superman's like, all right, I'll take you up on that bet. And so throughout the whole movie, he picks Emma Watson and like, hey, I'm gonna do my best to make you Wonder Woman by the end of the Justice League Academy. Once you do all the testing, and you'll for sure become Wonder Woman. And she wants no part of this. She's there to, learn and.
Does she not question this?
Well, she does. That's
Oh,
how
okay.
she's like, oh, why? But then Batman's like very persistent, like, no, you're gonna want this. You're gonna do this, and he doesn't say he's gonna make a lot of money, but he says that it's gonna be good for the team and that we could use you on the team and whatnot. So it's just a lot of the progression of him, following his bet, following that, he has a goal in mind, and then later on, as she's like pretending to try on the armor or the gauntlets and the skimpy ass costume that Wonder Woman uses, he has like a spark in him that he starts seeing her in a different light, and like maybe she really is meant to be.
She takes her glasses off.
Yeah, pretty much. And Kiss Me starts playing in the background as she's teleporting down whatever. And then Superman is like, he sees what Batman sees, and then starts trying to ruin what Batman has been trying to accomplish, and kind of tell her his secret that they made a bet and whatnot. And then so it cuts to Batman versus Superman, the movie. So they fight over her. No. But at the end, she questions if she was really worthy of the team, and if this was all a ruse and whatnot. And then happy ending, Batman tells how he really feels and that he really does see her as a potential part. not potential, as the Wonder Man, Wonder Man,
Wonder Man,
as the Wonder Woman, you know, to take on the role of Wonder Woman, the next Wonder Woman, and Superman gets jealous, but realizes that the team is more important than love, and yeah,
And they're all happy.
and they're all happy, and then they save lives. And they
Yeah, they save the world and everything.
They save Aquaman for getting into more drugs.
The drug fest with Thor and everyone else.
So do Batman and Wonder Woman end up together?
Oh yes, they do. They do. Just like in the comics, but we don't talk about comics.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Superman. Even with his Don John body, I just don't.
I can actually see that, strangely enough.
He gets some interesting roles and pitches in our movies because I pitched him as superhero Jesus.
Oh, but this is
Okay,
like a younger generation, like in between Team Team
So,
Justice
yeah,
and
okay.
Justice League, like the Academy to
Yeah.
get to their full-time career or college.
Those Burlesque get kind of old. Not just
But he
young.
looks young.
He still looks
Yeah.
young.
You guys have any questions for him?
Instead of the Kiss Me song, for a modern audience, what song would that be?
Oh,
Walking
as
down?
she's walking down or teleporting down. Oh man, I'm like thinking of '90s songs.
Well, it could be.
It could be just.
That song is she's so high, high above me. She's so lovely. As she's teleporting down.
Okay, I got questions for you guys.
Oh.
Important one.
I don't want that.
What is the title of your guys' movie?
Ooh.
Gotta be catchy.
Okay, since I use the two superhero ones,
Going on a poster, so.
it's going on a poster. Let me see.
Getting ahead of love. Head, get it?
The Miss Adventures.
The Misadventures.
No. Shoot. I'm trying to think of one.
That sounds like a.
It just sounds like something altogether.
It's like an asylum. Sounds like an asylum.
I thought it was gonna be like a Bollywood ripoff.
This is dating now.
What?
I don't know. This is dating now. That's my title.
Very rom-com.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking something rom-com.
You combined 3 different rom-com titles. Just words from each.
I think mine's gonna be Wonder and Awe.
Aww. Like wondering, aww.
Huh? You got it.
Or Wonder Man.
Wonder Man. I love you, Wonder Man.
Okay, second question for you guys. So a big part of these movies is always, and you mentioned it, the meet cute. I don't need the meet cute necessarily, but give me a cute scene between your two romantic interests. You can just be like a brief moment or describing it. But what are audiences going to leave this and really be talking about? Like, oh, I remember that moment from that movie.
For me, I think with my characters, since the other ones are druggies, they're probably at some music festival. You know, they're all doing drugs and going all crazy while the main character Aquaman and Wonder Woman Gal Gadot, they're just off on the side and they're having their own fun, and it's just showing that like they're just doing their own thing in the festival, enjoying it. They're all enjoying life, living life, actually listening to the music. And even though they take some time away from the stage, it's just they have a really intimate moment amongst a big crowd of people. Yeah. There you go. That's the romantic moment for mine.
I think mine would be when Wonder Woman is teleporting down, and as she gets to the floor, she starts walking to Batman, and she only has one gauntlet on, and because she's having a hard time strapping it on, so Batman helps her and ties it around her wrist or her forearm, and then they look at each other, and then he kind of puts her a thread of hair behind her ear as he
Alan's doing the action of it right now, if you can.
showcases showcases the tiara or crown that she wears.
Surely then we're gonna have to Photoshop MLS as Wonder Woman.
I can't wait.
I guess.
I'm excited.
How about for Paulo?
Yeah.
So it's a big moment where he's decided to like throw in his hat for not Selena Gomez, Katherine Heigl,
Francis.
and because he's a circus guy, like he's finally invited her to his show because he's like showing commitment. And then the big thing is that like actually sorry, after the like little falling out action, she ends up at a show not knowing that he's gonna be there, and like he's planned this out, and then it's just this big like redemption arc where he like tries to win her back. So his part of the show, he just ruins, like he's supposed to be like telling the fortune or like telling the future, and then he has this whole speech in front of all the other bugs that look, I'm sorry I screwed up, but I don't care if you'll eat me. I'd be happy to know that if I die, because I had one night with you.
So that's like the peak moment of
Yeah,
the
it's
movie.
a little cliche, but it's very in line with the rom-com theme.
Alright, last question I have for you guys. So I was watching My Sassy Girl last night. My girlfriend was telling me that the main like girl character that in Korea, like because the movie was so popular, people like her like dressing like her and like they would like have her hair like her. So I want you guys to answer, why will women who watch your movie, why will they aspire to be like your lead female?
Well, that's easy, because she's an independent praying mantis that she just takes what she wants and she's like looking out for herself. She doesn't need a man.
I feel like mine is very I feel like mine's just very woman empowering because it's Wonder Woman. She's my main character there, and
Very progressive as well.
it's very progressive as well. You see good development. You could always see, I guess, you get a little hope of. You could always change things around.
I mean, with the
for females.
between Harley Quinn and Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, that too.
How
So
do you
it
respond to
makes.
criticism about Wonder Woman doing drugs?
I guess it's people just living life and trying to try new things. I don't know. I can't even think. Just
like
part of her
fast
character
forward.
arc of her going, of her just, I guess, going one way and then doing a complete 360 turnaround and
Doing the right thing.
I guess doing the right thing and just showing you that you just be yourself.
That question is such a curveball for me because my character is getting swindled into believing she can be something.
But she could have been all along in the end, right?
Yeah, I guess.
She believes in herself.
But she always did believe in herself.
And how will you respond to criticism that Wonder Woman needs a big, strong man?
Well, I mean, the story is that she was doing her own thing. She didn't need any help, and she could have. Yeah, she didn't ask for the help. She could have just done it on her own because she was there to train for it anyways. Why did she need the extra help?
Actually, I have a question for you specifically.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean,
oh man.
actually, since they're all the most interesting characters, I have a question for you guys. How does it show that they're like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman versus just like people?
I think with the characters that they are from all the previous movies, people just recognize them as, so even if they're not in like their costumes.
But
is that what you're
do they
saying?
do anything like Batman-y or Superman-y?
For-
Or like does Wonder Woman use her lasso at all to make them tell the truth or anything like that?
For mine, it's just them, I guess, outside of the
Okay.
superhero life. So like people already know who they are,
It's just
and that's
brand
what they say. But yeah, it's just band names. They're just in regular clothes, just going about the day. But I feel like for him, because they're in an academy.
Yeah, they're wearing their costume.
Yeah,
like I
that's
mean, when they've already done the outfit, they're wearing the outfit. But when they're training, they're wearing a shirt that says "Training for," or they're wearing like a symbol.
I was gonna ask, is that question because they should be relatable to the every person because that's what rom-com should be,
No, that's-
or it's like what's the point of them being superheroes?
Yeah.
I was almost gonna say it's almost better if they're not superhero-y because it's more relatable.
Yeah. I think that's what I tried to do, make the superheroes more relatable.
Drugs and going
And falling in love and getting rejected and heartbroken.
Okay, for this one, I am not going to pick a winner because I'm gonna post these on Instagram, and the winner will be whoever gets the most votes on Instagram.
It's gonna be 3 different posts.
It's gonna be one post with 3 different pictures.
Okay.
Not like I don't know. No one's gonna comment.
I was well, that was my next question.
Maybe we'll get one this time.
We'll get like 3, maybe.
3?
I say you know what? I say we're gonna get 10.
Are you gonna tell people?
Heck yeah. That's what I do.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell them like, listen to the podcast, listen to my movie, and you'll know to vote for the
Oh
other
yeah,
two.
actually true. They have to listen to the podcast first.
Yeah, listen to the podcast, and hear the pitch, and you'll vote for the other two.
Okay, well, I think now is a good time for anyone that's still listening. Again, I'm gonna plug our Instagram, Houston. We have a podcast. Just follow us and like and subscribe for all updates about what's going on with their podcast.
And that's where you can see the posts and vote on which pitch was your favorite.
Exactly.
All right, let's end this episode off as we usually do. What movie coming out soon are you guys looking forward to?
I knew that was gonna happen.
I'm looking forward to Good Boys. Just based off of the synopsis, it is a group of like early teens going to what's called a kissing party, and they're not prepared, so they're trying to gather all they can to kind of practice or see the best way to kiss. And I think it was Carson that put it earlier that it's like a super bad adaptation with younger kids, but possibly still rated R.
Definitely still rated R.
Oh god, yeah, I'm okay with that.
And yeah.
Cool. For me, the movie that I'm looking forward to is Joker. It's I guess the new how would you say, just a different take on Joker. Yeah, I think it's an origin story, isn't it? And it's Joker played by Joaquin Phoenix, and pretty much story is just a failed comedian, Arthur Fleck, encounters violent thugs, and then it just shows his progression into madness. And yeah, for me, I've always liked Joker as a villain, and it's just nice seeing a different take on Joker. I know there's different universes, different types of Jokers, and I just really want to see where this one goes. Yep.
I'm looking forward to Cat. That trailer. Woo!
What about the trailer excited you?
Well, first of all, I'm not looking forward to Cat.
Wow.
If you just watch, anyone listening, watch the trailer. It is hilarious. It looks like when you're really sick and you have like a delusion, like a dream, a weird dream.
Really?
They're all so tiny.
What is it?
Like that.
What is it about, though?
It's about cats.
Cats.
It's a musical.
Oh god.
And I'm really curious to see Idris Elba as a cat.
He's a cat.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And Jason.
Really? Oh my god. Okay, I think I'm watching.
It's like, you know when you do a face swap?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
literally
actors,
that.
Like they face swap to the actors onto cat
Oh
bodies.
my god.
And
Yeah.
it's just weird. There's not a lot.
I feel like that's one of those just movies that look stupid that you just want to watch to see how stupid
I
it
kind of
is.
don't even want to watch it. But also I'm looking forward to, aka not looking forward to, the sequel to 47 Meters Down. That shark movie, that shark cage movie. They're making a sequel where the two girls
Is
get
it called 48 Meters Down?
No, it's called 47 Meters Down something.
Down under.
Hold on, I have it right here. 47 Meters Down. Where is it? Wait. Uncaged. I just have a lot of questions, like if that happened the first time, why would they go back? It doesn't matter that they're uncaged now. Why did they do it again?
I'm not familiar with the first one.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
hopefully will be a release by the time I get this episode out, but Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, coming out this week.
Ooh, yes, that I actually do want to see. I remember seeing that trailer.
There's been a lot of talk that it's like kind of mediocre, kind of meh, but it's Tarantino,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be good. So
Yeah, I like all Tarantino films.
should be good. Also looking forward to that Tarantino Star Trek movie that's gonna come out one day.
One day. Is it in the works? Is it official?
Yeah. He's
Oh.
currently tapped to direct.
Was it Picard? Nope.
No, like an actual its own movie.
Its own movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that I really want to see.
You should fill the Enterprise with all his
The
past
usual,
characters.
which he is gonna do.
Yeah.
You'll see Samuel L. Jackson and everyone.
Yeah.
All right, we'll end it off there. Thanks guys for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yay!
Yay! Thanks.